for one more minute session, guys. It's all getting late. So let me give you a quick introduction about myself, and then I'll get an introduction from you guys. Then we can start our session. Kind of introduction session today on this IBM DataStage and quality stage. Hello everyone. Good morning. Who are attending from India? Who are attending from USA? Good evening, guys. This is Suresh Vardhan here, and welcome to DataStage and quality stage 11.5 introductory session today by BISP. And you will be with me for another span of 5 to 6 weeks. And I'm an IT professional with 12 plus years of experience in multiple industries. And I'm very happy to help you guys to understand how this IBM InfoSphere data stage and quality stage is going to fit in this data warehousing world, and how this particular ETL tool is going to be used by different industries like banking, healthcare, insurance, or different other industries also. We are going to discuss from use cases as well. So that's a quick introduction about myself, and you guys can introduce yourself before I move to my agenda, what I'm going to cover in actual sessions. Just your name, and if you're already working on any technology, just let me know what is the technology you're working. That's it. Even if you're not able to speak out, just ping me in chat, that's enough. Venkat, are you able to type in chat? Okay, fine then. I'm getting a little delay, okay, on this one, maybe, okay, fine, no issues. Let me start, okay, how this session is going to work out, and how, okay, we are going to discuss in our sessions on day-to-day basis. So at the end of this session, I will make you guys into air, I'll put into air. So if you have any questions about this data stage, you can ask me, okay? Let's go. Yeah. Okay. So how this session is going to work out for us? It's going to be daily interactive classes, and after completion of every module, you will get some quizzes and assignments, weekly assignments, and some real-time project information as well. And my admin team who are in India right now, they can take care about installation of this data stage completely on your missions. Based on your mission configuration, they will install different versions of data stage. And we will share you guys scenario-based interview questions, detailed explanation of each and every question, whatever we are providing. Almost 1,000 plus interview questions we'll provide. With each and every question answer, we'll also put it. And we also going to take care about the mock interviews. Mostly over the weekends, what I'm doing is I'm going to connect to some of profiles. I'll take some profiles. I'll pick some profiles from what I got from my previous students or anyone. So we will set up some mock interviews, and we'll call at that time. So, and we will discuss about the interview, kind of a real interview, how it's going to happen. We'll ask a lot of questions. Okay, if we will also record the session, and we will share you where you did a mistake. We will highlight that one. Okay, in this area you need to improve a little bit, or you in a particular area you are very good, right? That kind of feedback also provided from me. And the job support after completion, we also going to do a kind of basic support. For example, you got some work you want to complete on time, but you are not able to. Just taking a case. So you need some help, right? Sometimes you know what to do, but you are not familiar because of this is a new tool to you or new to IT industry. So in the situation, if you give us a call or maybe send a message, okay, we will help you how to do or what to do with my experience. That's a way we are right now supporting all my previous batch students as well who need help. And coming to this course topics, what are the things I'm going to cover in entire these 9 modules? I divided this entire course into 9 modules, starting with the data warehousing fundamentals. Who are new to completely IT or who are new to this data warehousing world, so you should understand what is data warehouse, how this data warehouse is going to fit in a real-time industry. Just take an example. We are working on a project of healthcare process. How this ETL tool, how this data warehouse is going to fit in that particular healthcare industry. I'll give some use cases. Okay, I'll explain how it will going to be implemented. So that's, we will start with the fundamentals of data warehouse. Then we need to go to the modeling for ETL projects. Do we need to really learn the modeling? No, not required. But once our data modeling team, whoever prepared the model for a data warehouse, as a ETL developer, we should also understand what they prepared and how that is going to be interacting with ETL teams to our database team. So they will prepare some kind of table structures. You should understand what is the primary key in the table, what is the foreign key, how a primary key, that means dimension table is going to integrate with the fact table. That we will need to discuss in the module 2. Then we will actually jump into the IBM InfoSphere Information Server 11.5 version of DataStage. In this module, I am going to explore you guys what is this DataStage ETL tool architecture, what are the different components are there in this particular DataStage ETL tool, how this information server is going to be integrated each and every component like data stage, quality stage, information analyzer, and operations console, web console, how these are all the components what I'm just now speaking going to integrate each other. That's also we will cover as part of this module 3. And module 4 is the one where we will go through actual ETL tool development. That means we are going to join as a developer role, for example. So you should understand how to develop a code for a given requirement. What are the things need to be considered while you are developing a code for any of ETL requirement. So that we will cover as part of your module 4. And module 5, I will go through quality. Quality means not a testing. Testing is a kind of unit testing we'll do. But in data stage, from version 8.0 onwards, we have a data stage and a quality stage, both are integrated actually. We can do normal extraction, transformation, and loading operations. Along with that, we should also know how can we integrate the quality, how can we check the quality. For example, who are in US, you are booking a product from Amazon, for example. You gave your address, your apartment address, right? Then Amazon is going to give you some recommendations saying that, are you looking for these addresses? That means that is the standardized format of your address, right? So that kind of standardization we also going to do while we are doing our ETL operation with using of this DataStage ETL tool. So we will go through this DataStage ETL tool and how can we do the quality check? How can we make the data into standardized format? That we will discuss in a module 5. And then we'll go for administration. So information server administration. Just take an example. We all joined today in a company, right? Our company representative or senior management team send a mail saying that please send your details to create a Unix user ID and password so you can log in and you can start working tomorrow onwards. That means you send your employee ID, your employee name, your employee email ID and those to admin team. Admin team is the one, they are going to create your user ID and password and they will map your user ID and password, user ID to the specific project. That means we will also discuss in our session, how can we do the basic administration. I'm not going to completely discuss complete administration. So if you want to go to that administration, you should have an exposure of Unix very well. You should be able to write Unix scripting, networking, all those stuff, but we don't need that much. But as a developer, at what situations you are going to integrate with the DataStage admin team, What are the environmental variables are there? Why those environmental variables are going to be used in our process? And how your users are going to be created. For example, today you start developing some job, you are trying to run a job in our ETL, but it's not working. It's showing that some error, connectivity error. As a developer, we should understand, is it my mistake or do I need to have a special role? That I am going to cover in a module 6, which is going to explain about what are the different administration activities are going to perform with using of this information server administration, and then we'll go to the information server connectivity, the big data system. That's what now the buzzword, okay, right now in the industry are big data and DevOps, right? So we are integrating this ETL components. We are using these ETL components to integrate the big data system and extract the data from HDFS and do some transformations. Once we complete the transformations, again we start loading back the data into the big data system. That may be the HDFS, Hadoop distributed file system, or that may be a Hive table also. So we'll also discuss how to integrate from DataStage to the big data system, how to integrate get the data from HDFS into ETL and do some transformations and load back the data. So that's also we'll cover as part of our module 7. Then I'll go to one real-time project discussion. So I'll explain how we get the business requirements. As the ETL developer, what is your role? So you have a lot of people are going to be involved in the project. Architects are going to be there, business analysts are going to be there, subject matter experts are going to be there, and the modelers are going to be there. Senior ETL team members are there, junior members are there, testers are there, right? So where you are going to fit actually? What is your role and responsibility? How you start going to, okay, involve in a particular project. That we will cover, okay? How to get the business requirement, how to understand, how to develop a code, what kind of unit testing we will perform, how to write the test cases in unit testing case process. Because once our unit testing completed, right, you will hand over your code to testing teams, QA teams. They will take care. In some clients, there is no separate testing team. Then you only need to perform system integration testing, system acceptance testing, and UAT also sometimes, right? So that also we will cover as part of this real-time project, and I'm going to give you in this real-time project how to put this entire data stage in a scheduling. For example, we have a TWS, TOL workload scheduler, AutoSys, Control M. These are some of the scheduling tools are there. Once you develop your data stage code, we have a team of 10 members. All 10 members develop data stage code, for example. So after they completed their development, how they are going to put that code in a scheduling, what way they are going to schedule, what is the first component need to run, what is the second component. So all things will come in a real-time project discussion. And last module we are going to discuss, that is performance tuning. So everyone know this ETL tool data stage. So many people are learning, so many people are working. But the main thing where they're going to face issues is how to do the performance tuning. They will develop an ETL component, but they don't know how to do the performance tuning, and few scenario-based questions also we are going to cover as part of our module 9. So this is the actual course topics which I am going to cover as part of our training. Let me go a little bit over about each and every component, and while I am discussing about the module 4, I'll open my data stage ETL to 11.5. I'll show you what I'm going to cover like this each and every component also. Let me explain. Okay. At the end of this session, okay, I'll make you unmute so you can ask a question. So we will start with the data warehousing fundamental, right? So what is data warehouse? Why we need a data warehouse? What are the different components are there in this data warehouse system? How a project is going to be implemented? For example, in a project, you are having a heterogeneous sources, and you need to load these heterogeneous sources data into some data warehouse system, right? What are the intermediate components are going to be involved? So mostly when you go to the interviews also, they will not ask you basic questions. Don't expect a basic question nowadays. So they will ask you very in detailed questions. So you should understand how a data warehouse is implementing. What are the background tools are going to be involved in this one? Once we start loading the data into data warehouse system, who are the teams are going to come and integrate with this data warehouse, and what kind of report they will generate? So that basic phenomenon you should understand behind the logical architectures and physical architectures. That's going to be discussed in 3 to 4 sessions in fundamentals. Then we'll go to the module 2. There we'll start with the modeling basics. So here modeling basics means we'll start going and explain about the how this different modeling tools are involved, what are the different levels of modeling is there in this ETL tool. Like when you go to this data modeling, right, so many clients start using different kind of modeling components like we have just take an example. Erwin is a popular data modeling tool, Oracle data modeler, rational rows. There are so many modeling tools that are available in the market. By using that, our data modeling tool or team developed the model. So when they're developing the model for us, what are the different phases are there? Conceptual data modeling, logical data modeling, physical data modeling, and finally they will create a actual data model for our project and they will implement that modeling for that, right? So as part of that, when we are implementing the modeling for any of our business, you need to understand as ETL team member, what is this physical data modeling? What are the different types of schemas or relationships are implemented in that one? We have to understand that. So conceptual data modeling, logical are the phases, and finally it will come to the physical. In the physical, you have to understand what are the physical data model techniques are there, how these are going to be integrated each other, and what are the tables are going to be there, what is a dimension table, what is a fact table, how star schema is going to be implemented, how snowflake schema is going to be implemented, all those stuff. Okay, that we will discuss as part of our modeling. So we will start with the how to gather the requirement in the modeling, how to implement the dimension tables, how to implement the fact tables, what kind of relationship is there, schemas. That's a pure, okay, almost 3 to 4 sessions it will take to complete the modeling. So that is going to be happen in first data warehousing fundamentals as well the data modeling also. Once we completed the data modeling and data warehousing fundamentals for our process, right, our ETL process, once we are done with that one, then we will go to actual ETL architecture, that is introduction to IBM InfoSphere Information Server 11.5. So what is it? What we will cover in this one? When it comes to information server, we will start with the architecture first. We'll go to different versions of this DataStage, and we will I'll compare the what is the difference between the version 9.1 to 11.5. So most of the clients nowadays you can see in market in Dice, Indeed, or Simply Hired, any of US portals, right? Job market portals. So you can see that what is they're asking. They're asking about migration experience. They're asking about integration from DataStage to different. If you know only DataStage, there is no job. So you should have a knowledge on integration, should have a knowledge on different component styles. So we will discuss how these are the different kind of components are going to be there. So first I will start with the architectural component. I'm not right now discussing anything, just giving okay overview. And next we'll go to the what are the different components are there in this DataStage here. When we go to this information server, right? Information server is a suite. In that suite, there are so many components are there, like data stage, quality stage, information analyzer, operations console, and data click, all this stuff. But I am applying for a data stage developer role, Suresh. Do I need to learn all this stuff? Not required. But what you should know? You should know data stage development completely. You should know quality stage. You should know operations console. You should know information server manager, those stuff. The reason is you are a developer. If you are an analyst who are doing information analysis, that means data analysis, data profiling, then you will go to information analyzer, information governance catalog, and data architecture and metadata management, all those stuff. So if you are applying for a developer position, don't worry about these rest of the components because it's not related to the developer position. So we will mostly focus on developer and administration and quality stage part. We don't need analyst, right? Okay, analyst means you should have a very good exposure on a business analysis side first. Data analysis, data analyst part. So these are the different components we will discuss as part of our training. Then we'll go to the actual data stage ETL. So we will discuss architecture first. In the architecture also we'll go to what is this data stage, what is this quality stage, what is this information analyzer, what we are going to do in the information analyzer, what is this InfoSphere fast track. See, simply this fast track means you give business requirement, you give your metadata, automatically going to create a ETL component. So there are some advantages of using this fast track while we are doing the kind of POC for our metadata integration processing. So you can use this fast track too, and the metadata assisted manner where we are going to do different kind of metadata operations, connecting from data stage to different kind of integration tools. So we are going to focus that one. We don't need this. So these are all actually we will discuss as part of architecture. So let me show you completely what are the different. Let me go back. Sorry. Let me show you. Okay, what are the different tier components are there in the information server architecture. Let me go back. Sorry. Yeah. Here we have a client tier. So once DataStage software installed on your machine, you can see these kind of client components on your DataStage desktop. The above two components are called admin components, which are going to be used to develop, create setting up the environment for your projects. Installing of DataStage software, installing of patches, creation of users, allocating of the roles, setting up the environmental variables, setting up the national language supporting parameters to support multiple countries data. For example, we have India, we have China, we have Hong Kong, we have Japanese, we have Korea, we have, for example, USA, UK, Canada. So all the different formats of data if you want to support. Yes, we use this admin clients to support NLS also. They are called admin client. There are two types of admin. One is called desktop admin and second one is called web-based admin. So this browser-based admin or web-based admin is going to be globally manage the entire ETL servers, not a project-specific ETL. So if you want to go for project-specific roles and the allocation of those one, we use this particular information server, what are the components we are having in that. And then we'll go to the actual client components where we are going to have all these different client components which are going to be useful for developing of ETL code. DataStage designer is the client where we develop ETL code, compile, run and all those stuff. Directory is for the monitoring of your execution flow. How your jobs are executing, how your jobs are running, at what time it started, at what time it ended. If something failed, how can you do? All this stuff you can manage with using a director. And similarly, we have a information server manager, which is going to do kind of deployments, development to test, test to UAT, UAT to production. If you want to do deployment, we will create information services packages. That packages will deploy. And we have a command line interface where you want to execute your code from command line. See, always running your ETL components from DataStage, the designer or any other third-party tools like TWS or all those things, that's one process. But I want to run my job from the command line. There is a job command, DS job command, DS ADM command. With using of those commands, we can do some operations using of this command line interface. And we have a IBM InfoSphere information server launchpad. That launchpad is the one kind of browser-based system which is having operations console, web console, standardization operation, lot of components with a browser system. And we have a fast track where we are going to do business requirements into ETL components. And we have a multi-client manager. For example, you have your DataStage software right now in 8.5. Now your client started migrating into 11.5 version, right? As a developer, you should switch between 8.5 to 11, both versions. Then you use this multi-client manager to switch from one client to other client. So these are the different kind of client components are going to be there, which we will use to do our day-to-day activities. That's we will discuss as part of our ETL development. Let me just open our DataStage designer, how to log in. Okay, I'm just showing you. So we will completely cover 11 expressions. So we will be having here, I'm just logging into one project right now. So once I log in, right, you can see different components. When I come to the ETL, right, I will go to the jobs. I'll prepare the jobs for your batches. So there are multiple batches are running every month for me. So these are all different kind of jobs we will build actually. Okay, one ETL small job which is going to just take the data from flat files, compare it, then do some modifications, do some aggregations, load into target. Similar to that, where we are having a flat files of multiple, combine it to do it. And where we are having a getting the data from Oracle database, do some transformations and loading into the Oracle database again. So different operations. I'm not saying simple one. There are many complex and different operations we are going to perform, and we'll also go to the some slowly changing dimension table implementation. How can we do the SCD implementation in our project? What way we will implement SCD process, right? And we also going to go for the normal simple job processing implementations and the complex jobs development. Okay, I have a lot actually. We have even some project documentation, okay, where we are going to develop see, these are kind of multi-instance jobs, how to create these kind of multiple instances for the same operation. How can we do the migration from old databases to the new database? Almost 20 to 25 hours of duration. We will cover only this DataStage ETL tool. Apart from basics, apart from quality stage, apart from project. Completely on the tool we will focus. We will discuss every component what is required and how to integrate with the big data system also. So we will go to this big data system. How can we use this big data system? What kind of the big data? See, this is a stage where we are having file connector, which is going to be integrated from data stage to big data system, and which will read the data from big data to our system. See here, we have a local system file or web HDFS or HTTPS. So what way you want to read and which option is going to use to connect to the big data system? How can we read the files and processing the data into big data also? We will cover as part of our training. And we'll also go after completion of this ETL part, quality stage. That's our module 5. So when it comes to this quality stage, we will go for the how can we implement the data quality. So in our ETL tools, right, we have a data quality. So we need to discuss how can we implement different kind of data qualities. Check the quality, make the data into standardized formats. How can we make the data into standardized format? That also we will discuss as part of our quality. So I'm not, right, because this is just introduction session, right? I'm not showing everything, but actual sessions we will cover everything, every option which is required to implement. For example, you are applying the standardization process. That means you are making the data into standardized format. You will go to the standardization rule. You will apply different kind of rules here. US names, US address, area, taxation IDs, dates, emails, which country you want to apply, that particular country rules also you will apply in the data processing. So what are the data processing we are having? That particular data processing is also going to discuss with the US name.set, address.set, area.set, validation of email, taxation ID, vemail.set. So how to apply email notification. For example, just take an example. I entered my email ID, right? That is, while I'm logging into Amazon, I use, for example, logging is okay, but while I'm searching for a particular product in Amazon, I entered a mail ID as 123@123.com. Is it a valid email ID? Is it having valid domain, valid top level qualifier? That we want is. For example, you are inquiring for this course in this, you entered as a 123@123.124. So a lot of unnecessary emails will come, right? So we want to check it. Well, this is a valid email. Before we start loading this data into Dataverse system, we want to verify valid emails, phone numbers, address, name. So for those kind of data standardization processing, we use this data quality stage. How can we implement the data quality? What kind of data quality we will check, right? This is all we will discuss as part of our training for the data quality also. So whenever we go to this particular data quality, right, how can we implement it, what kind of quality we will also implement as part of that one, that we'll completely discuss in a module 5. It will take almost a week time. Then we will go to the our information server administration. So when you go to this data stage, right, let me just open operations console, that's called web console. Give me a second, guys. So this is the one where we are going to use the IBM information server. Here you can see admin console if you want to log into administration, and if you want to do all the administration activities. See here, you can see, for example, a new employee joined today. For him, a new user ID and password need to be created. How to create the new user ID and passwords, how to allocate the roles, what way we are going to create the users. All those stuff also we will discuss as part of our training. And everything, creation of users, groups, session management, schedule management, all the administration activities also we will discuss. And we have a new component called operations console. This is a very beautiful feature which we have from the 11x versions of DataStage, which is going to give you an overview about your server, how your server is going to be there, what is the status of your server, or all the services are running, how many jobs you are running. See here, you can see just from the last 3 days, totally I ran in this mission 13 jobs, 61% of jobs successful, 39% of jobs are finished with warning, there are no failed jobs. Okay, and you can see servers, and you, because on the same Unix box, maybe we'll having multiple servers, right? Multiple projects are there. Do you want to see specific to your project level? For example, right now we are working on this project. I want to see this project level, what environment variables are set up, how many number of folders are there, how many number of jobs are there, everything you can see. But in olden days, to get this information, our admin teams are going to write a lot of Unix scripts to capture this information. Now, IBM providing a beautiful feature here, which is a fantastic, I can say, which is going to be useful to do the all editing process. And we have a workload management. Right now, see what are the jobs are there, what is the priority of the jobs which ran, are those jobs finished, are those jobs having any warnings, and do you want to go for the any workload management. One second, guys. My kid is making little noise. Just sorry. I'm sorry, guys. Okay. She want to sleep now. So we have a different kind of, okay, here priorities, right? Queue management. Queue means, assume that we are 7 people are there, right? We develop a different jobs. So we want to put all those jobs in a queue. First job is going to be high priority, second job is going to be low priority. So that way we are going to specify different priorities also. So that priority specification, everything you can do in the workload management also. So queuing the jobs and queue management, creating your own queue, and the priority weight, you can specify jobs run ratio, okay, how many jobs ran recently in case elapsed time wise. If you want to generate different kind of the queues also, you can generate with using of this information server, with using of the operations console. So all these components we will discuss which are useful for the developer. I'm not talking about analyzer. We'll not cover the analyzer part because that's a separate training actually. Okay, we'll go to the analyzer part, is separate process. So which is required for the developer. I'll go through every component, how to develop the jobs, how to compile, how to run, how to execute the process, okay, what kind of the systems we are going to use, and when it comes to the latest version, what is the advantage with the grid systems, how to implement the grids, okay. We'll also go to the how to create the dynamic configuration, and we will completely focus mainly onto the what are the latest version like 11.5 features, what are there, how it is going to be integrated with a big data system, all the components. Even I need to go to the quality state, right? how to check the quality of the data. Just I prepared the slides to give you overview. So just when it go to, for example, quality stage, we'll go to investigation, standardization, matching, survival. Investigation means just discovering the data. Standardization means coordination, conditional operation, just checking whether my data is following the standardization or not. Then match from customer table to the member table, member to the policy, policy to the provider. So this kind of matching operation will do. Then finally, getting of consolidated data, how to get, what are the new enhancements we are having, how this file connector stage is going to be integrated in the big data system, and what are the different license-based apps are available which are going to be connected, how you are going to read the data from Excel sheets into your DataStage ETL tool, right? Unstructured data system, how to get the data from cloud to our system and our system to cloud back. Amazon, this one, operations console, just now what I explained. So this is just okay overall view which I'm going to cover in entire our sessions. So this is going to be completely almost 45 to 50 hours of this stage server job, parallel jobs, and now you can start asking. Any questions?